Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting for July 1st to order. If you would stand for the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please pray with me if you'd like to. Dear Lord, as we come together today in service, we are grateful for the opportunity to shape a brighter tomorrow for our community. This week we celebrate our nation's independence. We give thanks for the freedom we enjoy, for the liberty hard won by those who came before us, and for the responsibility we bear in preserving it. Lord, we ask for your guidance over this board. May their deliberations be marked with clarity, compassion, and conviction. Help us lead with empathy, to act with integrity, and always keep the well-being of our residents at the heart of every decision. Lord, bless our community. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to take a moment and recess for a special district meeting, our erosion district.
At this time, we'll go ahead and come to order as the erosion control district. We'll go ahead and open up general public comment at this time. If you have a public comment for the erosion control district only, please come up to the podium. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close public comment. There are no minutes to approve. We'll move to the approval of the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. There are no regular agenda items. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.
All right, thank you. Coming back to our regular meeting, I need an approval of the agenda with the additions, deletions, and revisions.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. No presentations. Moving forward, I'll open it up for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board, now would be your time to come to the podium to speak to us about any items that are not public hearing items. Seeing no movement, I'm going to close public comment. And Madam Secretary will do our proclamation.
Resolution number 25-126, a resolution proclaiming July 19th through 27th, 2025 as Treasure Coast Waterway Cleanup Week in St. Lucie County, Florida. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of St. Lucie County, Florida has made the following determinations. The Marine Industries Association of the Treasure Coast, in conjunction with the Florida Inland Navigation District, FIND, are deeply concerned with keeping Treasure Coast waterways clean for all to enjoy. The 18th Annual Treasure Coast Waterway Cleanup will be held on Saturday, July 26, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Over 1,100 volunteers, as well as numerous waterfront homeowners associations, will participate in cleaning up our waterways out of 25 designated sites throughout Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River counties. Since these efforts began, over 100 tons of trash have been collected from approximately 125 miles of waterways along the Treasure Coast, and the sustainability of our waterways is dependent upon efforts such as this, so future generations may also appreciate and enjoy them. Now therefore be resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of St. Lucie County, Florida, does hereby proclaim July 19th through 27th, 2025 as Treasure Coast Waterway Cleanup Week in St. Lucie County, Florida, and all citizens are encouraged to participate in this important event and commends the sponsors and volunteers whose contributions to this effort are so important to its success. Passed and duly adopted this first day of July 2025.
Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. And this evening we have Rob McKean, the Executive Director of Marine Industries, and Tessa Roberts with St. Lucie County Senior Environmental Outreach Coordinator.
I'm gonna keep it brief. And am I on? Anyways, I made a mistake in my invite to everybody, and both Tessa and Rob could not be here. I am April Price. I am the event coordinator and the executive director for the Marine Industries Association of Florida. I have with me Brandon McHenry from Harbor Branch and FAU, and Andy Steinberg from CCA, Coastal Conservation Association, who are major supporters of our event this year. Again, they've all been involved for years, but thank you very much for the county and all the support you give us. Tessa Roberts, who could not be here due to another obligation, runs our White City Park site, and we partner with Oxbow on a lot of different issues, and your Public Works Department has been phenomenal. We have 8 different sites in St. Lucie County this year on cleanup day that will be open to the public from Port St. Lucie all the way north to Stambone. And we will also be have at least 2 different large groups that are coming in during that week, not including our other volunteers that will be working throughout the county doing cleanups during that time frame. So thank you for your support and your long-term support in this project.
Thank you for what you do.
And we would like, and I'd like these gentlemen to join me, please. Be great. That's awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, with pleasure. If you ever need anything, absolutely.
All right. So I need an approval of the minutes. We have 5 sets of minutes.
Motion to approve?
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving along to consent. Commissioner Townsend, I'll go to you if you want to start off. There's a couple items. I know you'll want to.
Yeah, we'll just bring up item D, 3, and 5. We always like to put these out there for everybody to know. So this is ARP money for the Hog Pen Slough, which is with the City of Port St. Lucie.
Yes.
And it'll also help your district there with Tilton Road and Walton and that area right there. So hopefully help with some of that drainage. And also the project that's funded by the infrastructure, the 0.5% sales tax the voters voted in. And that is going to help the City of Port St. Lucie on Prima Vista.
Yes. All right. And with that, is there anyone else that wants to pull anything for discussion? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, one quick comment. I'd like to thank Mr. Howard, the airport manager, under C, all of the grants that we've got and the improvements that are making out there. Thank you very much.
Got it.
And I'll make a motion.
Okay. We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Jumping right into our public hearings, starting with County Attorney, Mr. McIntyre.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first public hearing pertains to ordinance number 25009, which, if adopted, would amend the boundaries of the Solaris Community Development District. The board has previously created this district. We're proposing to amend the boundaries to delete about 4.5 acres from the district. I believe they're going to convey that to Florida Power and Light. Attached to the memorandum is the ordinance. The notice of public hearing was published in the Tribune as required by state law. Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the board? All right. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to address the board on this item, please come to the podium. Seeing no movement, I'm going to close public comment, come back to the board for a motion.
Motion to approve?
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Mr. McIntyre, number 2.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This item pertains to an ordinance that would relate to the county's code enforcement. Assistant County Attorney Jean Stasio will be presenting this item.
Good morning, or good evening, Commissioners. I'm used to morning meetings.
Right.
Jean Stacy, Assistant County Attorney. This is a hearing to consider the adoption of an ordinance to amend the St. Lucie Code, Chapter 1, Article 2, titled Code Enforcement, to provide for the creation of a special magistrate position to hear and adjudicate code enforcement matters, to establish qualifications of the special magistrate, to provide the delegation of authority to the county attorney to appoint a special magistrate, to establish the jurisdiction of the special magistrate, and to limit the jurisdiction of the Code Enforcement Board to residential matters beginning August 15th, 2025 through January 1st, 2026. The ordinance was advertised on June 18th in accordance with Florida statutes, Section 125.66. Staff is recommending approval and available to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you. Any questions?
Can you tell me the dates again, please?
The limiting of the Code Enforcement Board to residential will be effective August 15th through 2025 through January 1st, 2026. So it'll be unaffected by this ordinance until that time, and between that time, it'll be limited to the residential matters.
Okay, because the only reason why I bring that up is this meeting they were supposed to have this month was canceled because they did not have a quorum. Commissioner Cosby does not have anybody appointed, and there's 2 at-large, so there's 3 members that are vacant.
Gotcha.
And so for that reason, they had to cancel the meeting. So I only ask that because if it's coming up that we're going to be doing away with this, do we even really need to move forward trying to get somebody appointed to the board if it's short-lived? I don't think we do. I think we need to just move forward. But my question there would be, the people that were supposed to be heard by that board in June, now July, what's going to happen to them? Because they had cases that they had made arrangements to take off work to be here, and now the meetings are canceled. So how is that going to affect them? And the amnesty program that we have currently in position right now, and I know that there's several residents out west I'm working with that's coming in under that, trying to beat the deadline. Does that mean that they're actually going to have maybe another month that maybe as the board we need to extend out the amnesty program through, say, September, so that will give them more time and let everybody realign and then be with the magistrate?
Good evening, Commissioners. So definitely we could work on extending the amnesty program. We did not anticipate having to cancel the meeting tomorrow.
Right.
We didn't have a quorum, unfortunately. We did not push on moving ahead on filling those seats because we knew the transition was happening to the special magistrate. It would have been sooner, but I know you wanted to transition first with commercial. So then we could sort of test that out and everything else, and then by the end of the year, it would be both residential and commercial going to the special magistrate. We can still follow that process, or if you'd like to do it sooner, we have the ability of amending it in this code. Instead of extending through January, we could end it sooner than that date. We are working right now on securing a special magistrate. We did go out for I'm trying to think of the right word, a solicitation in terms of that, and I know we've received several submissions, but we're going through and vetting that right now.
So what you're saying is maybe we should go ahead and have the applications come before us and put 2 people at large to let those meetings continue until we decide who the magistrate's going to be, and then at that point we can transition over?
So we have enough members today to get a quorum. It's just they could not attend the meeting tomorrow. It is your choice if you'd like to appoint somebody, but they will be expiring by January if this ordinance goes through as written.
Okay, so my question then is, rather than putting it at large, because it'll be a short time, maybe Commissioner Cosby, do you have anybody in mind that you could put on it and just let them know it would only be for about 6 months?
I do, and Madam Chair, the reason why I didn't put someone on, I was under the impression that we were going to be disbanding the board.
Okay.
Are we still having a July meeting, just later in July?
We are not.
No.
It is canceled for tomorrow. It'll go till August.
Okay.
So,
And we have a meeting prior to then, I could work with staff to have it appointed?
well, yeah, probably what would happen is you would do it, and then at our next meeting, we would approve your appointee to the board, and then their next meeting would be August. And then the other thing is, at this time, Catherine, I see you sitting there, I think we also need to maybe take the amnesty program that's ending the end of July and backing it up and giving it until probably September to help with a lot of this confusion of the transition, plus some meetings are going to be missed. So if the boards, do y'all know what the amnesty program is?
Yes.
I am new here, I do not know
Okay,
what
so
the amnesty program is.
the amnesty program is people that have liens on their property and have current codes. If they bring them into compliance during a certain time that we delegate, which we delegated earlier, but y'all had so much going on, it is supposed to end this month. But if they bring the property into compliance, we waive, and they only pay 10% of the lien. And we started this program to try to encourage people to clean up their property and to come into compliance and give them a path forward to help financially help them out. And it's been very, very successful. Catherine, would you say, what, it's 20% that we're running?
Assistant County Attorney Kathleen Barbieri, yes, it is successful. The only, it is, once it's approved by the Code Enforcement Board, because all liens and asking for liens to be forgiven are by the Code Enforcement Board, then it's administratively done, and they have been approving it for like the last 5 or 6 years for a set time period. And when asked by staff, they usually extend it. So right now, any can be processed even without the Code Enforcement Board meeting because it's done in-house administratively. But yeah, if you come into compliance during that period, you could have come into compliance before, but if you come and ask for the forgiveness during that period, then your lien is automatically reduced to 10%. Whereas otherwise, you have to come to the code board, you have to give an explanation as to why you didn't come into compliance during the time that they asked, and then they, based on the facts you give, then they'll assess if they're going to do any reduction, how much it is. So that is just, this is just a paperwork automatic if you're in compliance.
It's a good program. It's been very successful.
Yeah, I actually helped a resident on Indian River Drive get
Yeah.
hers
And I
off.
have several I'm working with right now. They're going to be coming forward, filling it out. They go online and do it. It's an application, and they take it and submit it. So I didn't know if y'all remember that. I'm sure we have had this conversation since you've been here, but y'all learned so much. It's hard to keep it straight. So if you have somebody that you want to talk to, then at the next meeting it can be done, and then just let them know it's only going to be temporary because we're going to transition over into the magistrate. But at least it will assure that it's a better chance of having a quorum.
Madam Chair?
Yes,
Commissioner
Commissioner
Townsend, I like the idea of the amnesty program. My theory of, code enforcement is compliance, not punishment. So if it's something that we're doing that's actually forcing compliance or, willing, voluntarily complying with, remedying the code violations, I think that I'm interested in extending that if it's been proven to be successful, for sure.
Okay. So it sounds like there's consensus that Commissioner Clasby, you're going to go ahead and work to get someone appointed to fill that spot before August, and then extending the amnesty through September. Is everyone good with that?
Catherine can take it. She'll straight
I'll make
down
sure
take
that
it.
we
Okay.
notify the Code Enforcement Board and
That
ask
should
for that extension.
Okay. All right. So with that, then I will entertain a
Open a public hearing.
Oh, that's right. This is a public hearing item. Anyone wishing to address the public or the board, please come up and come to the podium. Seeing no movement, I'm going to close public comment and come back to the board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, moving right along for Ben for our adoption hearing for the text amendment for community participation meetings.
Good evening, Chair Fowler and Commissioners. For the record, my name is Ben Balser, Planning and Development Services Director, and tonight I'll be presenting item 11B1, which is the adoption hearing for a county-initiated Land Development Code text amendment. Notice for this item was published in the local newspaper on Thursday, June 19th. The ordinance establishes mandatory community participation meetings for certain development applications. It expands eligibility for administrative approval via the minor site plan process. It eliminates outdated references to state statutes and updates department names and positions to reflect the current organizational structure. These changes will improve transparency, legal consistency, and efficiency within the development review process. At the direction of the board, staff drafted code amendments to enhance early public engagement for specific application types. The proposed requirements would apply to plan development rezonings, which include PUDs, PNRDs, and PMUDs, conditional use permits, future land use map amendments to mixed or special district categories, and development agreements. Standards for the community meetings were developed and include that the meeting must be held on a weekday evening near the proposed project or at a county facility. The meeting must be scheduled between 20 and 120 days prior to the first public hearing. The draft ordinance includes language that requires the applicant to provide mailed notice to all owners within 1,000 feet if the project is within the urban service boundary and 1,500 feet if the project is outside of the urban service boundary. These mailed notices must be sent at least 15 days in advance of the community meeting. The ordinance expands the projects that can be reviewed under the minor site plan process. These include permitted as-of-right uses between 6,000 and 100,000 square feet, or residential projects under 100 dwelling units, so long as plating is not required, and the use complies with the comprehensive plan and the land development code. The code already permits similar thresholds, but the language is now clearer. The draft ordinance also allows for final plan development site plans to be approved administratively by staff if the plan conforms to the preliminary plan development plan previously approved by the Board of County Commissioners after August 1st, 2025. This will place greater emphasis on the preliminary plan development rezoning process, where the board has great influence over the plan and may consider any matter they deem appropriate in consideration of the proposed rezoning amendment. There is also language in the code that allows the PDS director to designate any application as a major site plan where the proposed development should be considered by the board because of its location or potential for impact of public facilities, natural resources, and public safety. Also, as a condition of preliminary plan development approval, the board could include in the motion that they would like the final site plan to come back to them as a major site plan in the future. Moving on, in 2023, the Live Local Act was signed into law requiring local governments to approve qualifying affordable housing projects administratively without rezoning, land use amendments, or public hearings. These provisions are incorporated into the ordinance, and projects that meet the state statute requirements would be processed through the county as a minor site plan. Another statutory change that this ordinance addresses is the 2015 legislation that effectively eliminated the Development of Regional Impact, or DRI, review process. This ordinance removes the obsolete DRI references from our code. And finally, all references to the former Growth Management Department or Director are now updated to reflect the current Planning and Development Services titles. In summary, this county-initiated land development code text amendment improves early public participation for major development applications. It aligns our processes with state mandates like the Live Local Act and eliminates inconsistent DRI code provisions. The draft language streamlines review for qualifying minor site plans without altering any development standards, and updates and modernizes outdated code references. The ordinance was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission on May 15th, who unanimously recommended approval. They added the suggestion of expanding the mailed notice requirements inside and outside the urban service boundary, which this board agreed with during the first reading of the draft ordinance. And with that, staff recommends approval of ordinance number 2025-14 as currently drafted, and we're happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions, comments from the board? This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to address the board, please come up to the podium. Seeing none, I'm going to close public comment and come back to the board.
Motion approved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. All right, moving along to our regular agenda for public utilities. We've got Rebecca walking up.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Commissioners.
Good
Rebecca
evening.
Ventrella, Public Utilities Director for the record. Tonight I'm presenting two utility rate resolutions for your consideration, one for billing rates and one for connection fees. Both are based on the March 5th studies for rates and capital charges, which we used to support our recent bond issuance. So items 12A1 and 12A2, if it's okay, I'll talk about them together and then we can vote on them separately.
Absolutely.
So number one is the billing rates. So this resolution proposed adjustments to water, wastewater, and the reuse billing rates effective with the first billing cycle after today. The water rates reflect a 5.5% increase consistent with the REF-TELUS recommendations, which is that March 5th rate study I mentioned. Sewer rates were adjusted a little more modestly at about 2.4%. The average residential bill, based on 5,000 gallons of monthly use, would change about $4.89 a month, and that's if the customer had water and sewer with us. Although this Raftella study supports a second 5.5 adjustment in 2026, this resolution addresses 2025 only, and that's on the advice of outside counsel. So if we want to, we'll have to come back to you next year to raise rates again. For the connection fees, the second resolution updates the connection fees, and this aligns them with the cost of adding capacity via 2 new water treatment plants and distribution system, as well as adding capacity to the 2 wastewater plants at the Tropicana site and the Holiday Pines site, and also expanding the collection system. Effective August 1st, 2025, we're proposing the total connection fee to be $5,273 for water and $4,925 for wastewater. We have already shared those proposed connection fees with some new developers via our standard developer agreement, the SDA. We have not received any negative feedback, as the new fees are in line with surrounding utilities. These resolutions help ensure the district remains financially sustainable while delivering high-quality service and supporting planned growth. Do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Questions, comments? No?
Motion to approve item number 1.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And motion to approve item 2.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, and with that, that brings us to commissioner updates. I would just like to start by bringing to everyone's attention and congratulating this board. Last week we were all at FAC, which is the Florida Association of Counties, their annual conference up in Orlando. And we're one of, I'm trying to think of how many counties they called out that are part of the 100 Club, but maybe 10 or 12 counties, and St. Lucie County is one of them, where all of our county commissioners have some level of certification through Florida Association of Counties and the Institute for County Government. So Commissioner Clasby, Commissioner Lowry graduated with their certified county commissioner, as well as Commissioner Leet. I graduated with my advanced county commissioner 1. Commissioner Townsend has already gone through this training, but she did actually also receive a presidential advocacy award for leadership and advocacy. So just want to make sure to point that out as well. And just again, congratulate everyone and say, I think that shows the commitment to getting in here and getting your feet wet and learning the job. And so I appreciate that, and I applaud everyone. So, and of course, 4th of July is coming up this weekend. Everyone be safe and have some fun and enjoy the extra time off. And with that, I'll open it up to anyone else that has
I
comments.
only have one comment.
Yes.
For anyone out there that plans fireworks on a bigger scale, please consider the drone shows instead of fireworks. Port St. Lucie did one, and Will, with the Boys and Girls Club, took a video of it, and it is awesome. It's much better than fireworks. So anybody out there doing that, if you've ever seen one, they're wonderful. Outside of that, have a happy 4th of July.
Any other commissioners?
I was going to say what you said, but I do want to also add to it that it is the first time in the history of St. Lucie County that all 5 commissioners have attended a FAC meeting since the conception of this county. And it is the first time in the history that all 5 county commissioners sitting here have all been certified. So I do want to say I've been involved in that agency for 9 years, and I believe in it, and I take away so much from it. So it's refreshing and nice to see that there's commissioners up here that are committed, and I know that y'all are going to take away everything that I've taken away. So when I'm no longer here, I hope that you'll continue to go, because there's a lot of worth in it and a lot of relationships that we build with other counties, and we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Because if we're working on something and we have relationships with other counties, we can get their ordinances and let legal look at it, and it makes it easier. And I can tell you that we probably lead out of 67 counties more than any other, because I get more people calling me, asking me about stuff because we have already discussed it or done it, versus me having to go to them. We are one of the leading counties in the state that lead by bio solids. And so us and Martin County are the two that most of the other counties would come to whenever something like that comes up in their county. I mean, like recently Polk County contacted because it's a new topic there. So, I mean, this was probably, in my opinion, one of the better conferences we've had in the last 5 years. The energy was high. I think we have a great incoming president. And it was kind of nice to finally go to a conference that was kind of fun and everybody was engaged this one because the last couple have been kind of, I don't know, I don't even want to say anything about that. But this conference was a great conference. It was. And so I just want to thank you all for going up there. I know it's a commitment to be away from your families and you having a baby. So thank you for going up there and being up there this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Clasby.
Yeah, just going up for FAC was an amazing thing. I've been looking forward to doing that for quite a while. It's an important organization to be involved with. One of the things that I've learned is pretty much everybody has the same type of issues. Like we're kind of all in this together, and it's an incredibly important organization to be involved with moving forward, especially with Tallahassee talking about potentially getting rid of property tax and sales tax. There's a lot of implications that we all, as 67 counties, need to kind of be on board with for future lobbying efforts and things to kind of control how the state goes. Other than that, wanted to say I've already watched the Inside St. Lucie and Coffee with the Chair, and there was a couple questions that I had. Just I guess for staff, I don't know if you really want to answer right now, maybe you can, but is there any way for the county to opt out of the Live Local Act? There's not.
There is no opting out on the land use
It's a question
side.
that keeps coming up from a lot of people, either online or in the public, but if there was a way, I'm interested.
There is no there's preemption in state law for the land use side in terms of approving projects administratively. There is no opt-out version of that at all. There is one provision for a tax, abatement for middle income tax affordable housing projects if you meet a certain threshold. And in the report that it tells you that you must reference, we don't even qualify to opt out.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, that's all I had.
Okay. Commissioner Fowler, can
Yes.
I say something? I do want to bring up, is Catherine still here? Just in case.
Yes.
There seems to be a new cause going around. I don't know if you're getting the cause and seeing it. But I know that it is very, very concerning to the people in Lakewood Park. And that is pedophiles have to register wherever they live. They have to register with the Sheriff's Department. It's the law. And there seems to be somebody new that's moved into Lakewood Park, and one of the residents has decided to start a petition and is going to try to make it so that they aren't going to be in the neighborhood. I've tried to explain it to them that that is a law and that every county can change and make it greater than what the state law is, but they have their rights. Once they've done their time and served, as long as they comply to the law, they have the right to live. You have to be so many feet away from a school and a park and everything. So if you start to get the calls, I want you to know that I've confirmed with Catherine that St. Lucie County is one of the few counties that our boundaries are greater than what's required by state law. We are at 2,500 or 2,000, I forget, 2,000 or 2,500.
2,500.
2,500, okay, so my Tay knows. Catherine, we're good, thanks. And so we are greater than what the state requirement is. So if you start to get those calls, you can just let them know that we are one of the few counties that, we have already taken this into consideration and it's already in effect. We have an ordinance in place.
Gotcha.
So
It's interesting that came up. I think it perhaps was on the news. They were talking about looking at including bus stops as well now, potentially in that.
yeah, well, that was one of the things
List
that they did bring up, that they want us to try to pass an ordinance on, but it's already being discussed.
Yeah.
it's going to come, right? It's a conversation, so we need to let that conversation happen and let law work through it and see what they feel and then bring it back to us, then we'll pass an ordinance. I mean, I understand the concerns and they have small children, but at the end of the day, a petition's not going to change anything. We have to follow state law.
Absolutely.
And they have a right to live, even though I'm sure none of us agree with what they were charged with. At the end of the day, we have to follow the law.
Absolutely.
Madam Chair, one more thing to share for the good of the order. I was receiving a lot of complaints about panhandling and just vagrancy and these sorts of things. And I have people ask, well, why is nothing being done about this? Well, oftentimes it's because it's not in a county unincorporated area, so they're asking us. And then there's the municipal boundaries where the city codes will take into effect. But I did check with our legal department, and ordinance number 17020 does actually effectively ban panhandling in unincorporated St. Lucie County intersections. It does it in kind of a roundabout way that the only purpose for you being in an intersection at a signal interchange is, or intersection, is that you're crossing. You're not staying. So pretty much all activity is banned in the intersection. So if anybody wanted to look that up, it's 17020. And I have shared it with the new Sheriff Del Toro as well, so they're aware of it. I mean, they've been aware of it. But just in case you guys wanted to know, and I shared it with some of our peers at the city level as well.
Excellent. All right. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Landry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. County Commissioners will hold their annual budget workshops on Monday, July 7th, 2025, starting at 9 a.m. and run through, if needed, Thursday, July 10th, 2025 in the morning. And that's going to be located at the Harvard L. Finn Center at 2000 Virginia Avenue in Fort Pierce. The Board of County Commissioners will also hold a special informal on Thursday, July 10th, 2025 at 2 p.m. here in these commission chambers at the Roger Portis Annex at 2300 Virginia Avenue in Fort Pierce. And lastly, the Board of County Commissioners will hold a regular meeting on July 22nd, 2025 at 9 a.m. here in these commission chambers located at 2300 Virginia Avenue. And Eric will close out with announcements.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr. Landry, Commissioners. St. Lucie County Summer Reading Program continues through July. This is for both children and adults, so make sure your family members are logging their reading hours using the Beanstack app for a chance to win prizes. And don't miss the various in-person events at the local branch library. For details, you can visit stlucieco.gov/library. St. Lucie County's Parks and Recreation staff will also host the Back to School Splash Jams at all 3 county pools. These free family pool parties will take place across 3 days from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., weather permitting. Monday, July 28th at the Ravenswood Pool, located at 400 Ravenswood Lane in Port St. Lucie. Tuesday, July 29th at the Lakewood Park Pool, 5990 Emerson Avenue in Fort Pierce. And Wednesday, July 30th at the Boatwright Pool at 1200 Avenue M in Fort Pierce.
All right. Thank you, Eric. And with that, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. Have